Hey guys, and welcome to the fish room. I'm Rachel O'Leary, and as I came down to the fish room to do some work today, I realized that I wanted to just discuss what makes a good tank. And we're in front of the 20-gallon long algaescape that houses Chili rasboras, Danio tinwini, and my wild betta embellis group, because this is certainly not a tank that you would generally think of as one you would want to emulate or that is successful because, well, it's obviously covered with algae. But I think it's a really good example of how your tank doesn't really have to follow the rules in order to be really successful. The reality is beauty is in the eye of the beholder. And whatever you like for your aquarium is truly what is important. I've fed some baby brine here in hopes of enticing the wild bettas to come forward. But I think what makes this aquarium so successful is the nice contrast between the fish, the bright red of those Chili rasboras, the gold of the gold ring Danios, the nice russet color of the brown crypt, the nice neutral green of the Anubias, and then the extremely bright green of this hair algae that has been able to have been cultivated throughout this entire aquarium. And again, I know this is not everybody's cup of tea, but I can honestly tell you that when people come into the fish room for a visit, they all gravitate towards this aquarium. It's active, it's bright, and it's really engaging. So it just goes to show you that, you know, do what you like and it will be successful. Rarely do fish or plants, we have a spawn, there's a baby, rarely do fish or plants read the rule books, and there's so many variables within our aquariums that, you know, there's just not a cookie cutter thing that makes them work or not. And as we look around the fish room, I mean, there is a vast array of different styles, different fish, different hardscape, and yet I keep coming back to this one weird aquarium as being one of my favorites. But as always, I pass the question off to you guys. Like, what do you think makes a successful aquarium? I just wanted to remind you guys as well, I do upload every Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday, and I really hope to get back on track with live streams soon. I've been traveling a whole lot, so that hasn't been possible recently, but if I do a live stream, it'll be Friday, and it'll be in place of my Thursday video. But I really appreciate all of you that have that notification bell on and that are subscribed and that check in each week to see what I'm doing here in the fish room, around the yard, and in my travels. And I have a few exciting projects to share with you, and I think it's going to be a good time. So as always, thank you for the continued support. Now let's just enjoy the beauty of this aquarium. Now if you're new here, this aquarium utilizes Tropica soil substrate. It has LED shop lights. It started out as a wood and rockscape with a ton of botanicals, and I do add rooibos tea to it each week. It's due now actually to add sort of that red tannic component that really helps these fish's colors pop, as well as making the wild bettas that are housed in here more comfortable. It does have some Amano shrimp which help keep that hair algae pruned, but I think it's really fascinating how the hair algae has really infiltrated the hardscape and botanicals, but not really very much of the planting that's in here. Even in the back there, you can see crypts growing through the hardscape that have zero algae on them, and yet the hardscape all around them is completely covered. I think it's really fascinating, and while algae is not a typical plant that people use to scape with, I have really enjoyed over the years utilizing it in atypical ways. You guys may remember way back in the beginning of my channel that my big boys tank was covered with black beard algae that disappeared, and I've been trying to cultivate that back, and we'll do an update on them in the upcoming weeks at some point. And you guys may also remember that I grow algae intentionally in my 150-gallon hill stream because it's full of grazers that require that algae as part of their health and well-being. I have a feeling that in this aquarium, the reason it's getting algae is a mix of all the excess humic substances. Ooh, look at that male. Oh, embellis. Let's see if he comes. Oh, wow. He is fired up. But regardless of the cause, I am really pleased at the vitality and health of this aquarium. You can see moss growing up the back of the aquarium wall that doesn't have any algae. You can see that most of these anubias, the bucephalandras, the crypts are all really healthy. I will get in here again soon to vacuum out some of the algae that's infiltrating the substrate again. But for the most part, I'm really pleased with this aquarium, how it is. Look at that male betta. Wow. Oh, now that's a sexy piece of fish. Wow, rare sighting of 4 bettas at once. There's actually 6 in this aquarium, but it's unusual for us to see more than 1 or 2 at a time. They must really love this baby brine. I love how they interact with the botanicals in this aquarium. Oh, there's 5. Holy crap.